going on YouTube? Josh here with Cleveland Sports TV, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a video of my top 5 positions that the Cleveland Browns should address this offseason. Now, this doesn't have to be just, via the NFL draft. It could be free agency via the trade block or whatever it may be, but this is just going to be my list of the top 5 positions that they should address in this 2020 offseason. Going to be pushing videos out here soon of who I think they should address and, go after in the draft, what strings they should pull via the trade block, and so on and so forth. But strictly for this video, it's just going to be, however they may acquire them. But these are the top 5 positions that I believe they should go after. So yeah, let's get to the video. Hope you guys enjoy, and go Browns. All right, guys, so let's get to it. So, yeah, I have kind of like a little live depth chart here. Gives every player's grades and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to look or even talk about the grades. I'm really just putting this up here so you guys can kind of follow along and have a, more to go off with than just me talking. So my biggest need that the Browns should go after in this 2020 offseason is just going to start up front on the offensive line. And I know a lot of you guys will agree with this one, especially, my Browns fans out there. That's the left and right tackle. Last year we had Greg Robinson and Chris Hubbard at those spots. I just think it's time to move on, especially from Greg Robinson with the legal trouble that he got into. I can be honest, I don't know enough about Chris Hubbard, about what they expect from him, what they're going to do with him moving forward. However, word out there, word around beat writers, word around people who follow the Cleveland Browns just really think that the offensive tackle position is the Browns' biggest need. And I would agree, and I think a lot of you guys would too. So, yeah. Number 1 being left and right tackle. You can kind of just say pick and choose at this point. But let's move on to number 2. So number 2, and I am going to talk about the linebacker position. Now I know a lot of you guys might put safety at number 2, which okay, to each its own. But for me, it's going to be linebacker, especially after losing the player that I thought was the horse on the defense. And yes, I get it. Didn't make a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of tackles for losses, a lot of missed tackles. But to me, Joe Schobert was the catalyst on that defense, especially with Myles Garrett being out a lot last year. He just always seems to be around the ball. Now, if you want to make an argument that he does some things poorly, okay, I get it. But at least he was always around the ball. He seemed to be the defensive captain, and he seemed to be the guy that everybody looked to on that defense. So I'm going to go with linebacker, especially middle linebacker, having to replace Joe Schobert. I'm not comfortable going into next year with Sione Takitaki as your starter. Maybe Mack Wilson if they move him to the middle, which I don't think they will. So I'm going to go with linebacker at number 2. But let's move on to number 3, and I kind of gave it away, just a second ago. And I'm going to go to the safeties positions. Odds are I think they're going to end up moving on from Demarius Randall. I just don't see them paying him the money that he may seek out there via free agency. So to me, I really think we're going to end up losing Demarius Randall and Morgan Burnett, having to move forward next year with guys like Sheldrick Redwine, who was a rookie last year, Justin Burris, who the team loved in the second half of the year. There's a guy I'm not seeing on this list who I'm a little surprised of. Oh, no, there he is, Eric Murray. They have him just graded so low. I think he's a lot better player than everybody who I just named, Burris, Redwine, and so on. I do like Eric Murray, but however, it is a position of need. So yeah, I'm going to say both the safeties positions, just like on the offensive line with the offensive tackle positions. I think we need to address both safety spots as well going into next year. Like I said, it doesn't have to be just via the NFL draft. If they do it via the trade block, via free agency, which I know there's a lot of mid-level free agent safeties out there. Anthony Harris, who comes to mind from Minnesota, who obviously worked with Kyle Stefanski last year. I know his name's kind of been buzzing around out there. I'm a fan of HaHa Clinton-Dix, who I think could be a steal as far as what you would have to pay for him. But like I said, I'm going to push videos out about that later on. So yeah, number 3, we have the safety position. Let's move on to number 4. I'm going to go back to the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to talk about the wide receiver position. I know we have the 2 horses. You got Odell and you got Jarvis. Well, we think we have Odell. Who knows what happens with that? I think he stays put just because of what you paid to get him. I don't know if they're going to get close to that in return, which I think just kind of shies them away. Plus, I think that the Browns organization is kind of excited to see what Odell and Jarvis can do with Stefanski running the show, working through that run game, the play action game. I mean, Minnesota had Diggs and Thielen, and both of those guys were able to shine. So I'm sure Stefanski's kind of licking his chops thinking, okay, I got Odell and Jarvis here. Let's kind of just pick up where we started. But anyways, besides the two top horses in Jarvis and Odell, I'm not seeing much. Obviously, a lot of people love Rashard. I love Rashard Higgins too, but let's just be honest. What happened last year? I know he was in Freddie Kitchens' doghouse, or so they say. But what are we going to see? Are they going to bring him back? If he does come back, what is he going to show us? I just think that they need a more stable, number 3 option at the wide receiver spot. And I'm sure that's something they're going to address. There's just so much talent out there in the NFL. However, I'm putting it on my list at number 4. Who are going to be the wide receivers outside of Jarvis, outside of Odell, and maybe even Higgins if he earns that number 3 spot, who are going to step up and be kind of the catalyst in that bottom half of the receiver portion of the depth chart. Let's move on to number 5. This might shock a few people. I know a lot of people think I might go edge rusher here because we're, probably going to end up moving on from Olivier Vernon, but I'm going to go tight end. And hear me out on this. Baker Mayfield succeeds out of the play action game. To me, David Njoku isn't your protege, your play action type of tight end. 1, he's kind of poor in the blocking game, and 2, he just really has trouble catching the ball. And let's add the fact that he's coming off of an injury. We didn't really see him play much last year. Obviously, we know what kind of skill set he has. The ceiling could be very high in Njoku, but there are a lot of people around who think that he wasn't even going to return this year. It's looking more so like he's going to return, but you can always use a backup tight end, which I know they like Ricky Seals-Jones, but I need something stable. I need something more long-term at that tight end spot, because I just think it's such a crucial part of Stefanski's offense, with the running game, with the play action. He's always talking about wanting to make every play look alike. To me, I think he just needs a stable, I'm going to use that word, a stable tight end, a solidified tight end who could be here for 4 or 5, plus years. And I just don't know if we can say that about David Njoku at this point. I'm not hating on David Njoku. I think the skill set is through the roof, but I think it's time that we see him put it together. And if he puts it together, great. But if not, he needs something moving forward. So that's why I have them at the number 5 spot. Yeah, that does it for the list. Man, that was fun. My first video in a while. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll take all the criticism I can get. Let's just keep it, rated G. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for watching the video. If there's anybody who I'm missing, a position that I might be missing, or if you just want to put your 2 cents in, please do so in the comment area. I'll be very active in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button, especially if you're a Cleveland fan. You will see a bunch more Cleveland sports content here in the near future. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Everybody have a good day. Peace.